Hello students, we are going to start with the chapter 2 of Flamingo, Lost Spring. It is an excerpt from the stories of Stolen Childhood, which is written by Anise Jung. Anise Jung had portrayed the social issues in her writing, which are quite alarming. Lost Spring, it is a meaningful title of to the reporting of plight of the rag pickers. It refers to the plight of thousands of rag pickers in Delhi as well as the bangle makers in UP town of Firozabad. As the title suggests, Lost Spring. Spring is the most beautiful season amongst all the seasons, when the life rejuvenates, environment refreshes, rejoices. As similar is the spring of our life, that is childhood. When spring season is being taken away from all the seasons, we would not cherish the happiness, the rejoice of other seasons. As similar, if the childhood is being taken away, it's not practically possible that childhood doesn't appear and you automatically become an adult. Here the childhood means the carefree approach in your childhood, when you are not being entitled to works for the family's livelihood. Similarly, when the duties, when the impositions are there at such tender age, the innocence vanishes away. And that's what is being portrayed here, that you do not have anything to rejoice, to cherish in your older ages if childhood is being taken away from you. So the chapter, it's a culmination of two excerpts. One is of the Sahib-e-Alam, who says, "Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage," and another one, it is of Mukesh, who lives in Firozabad. Both of them, they are the victims of child labor. They are the victims of perpetual state of poverty. Both of them are imposed to work as a child labor because their families are unable to meet both the ends. So let us let us start up with the first part of Sahib-e-Alam, who was bearing up with the state of poverty along with his family, who is described here as a rag picker. Anise Jung, she was sitting in her balcony and she noticed a group of barefoot boys who used to come as the free birds in the early morning with the plastic bags at their shoulders, and they used to scrounge the garbage and pick up whatever was being necessary for them, whatever suits to them. And once she noticed them, the people were being bare feet. She asked that why they are bare feet, why they are bare feet, and why don't they go to school. So being answering for going to school, they said that there was no school nearby their place, so the people are not going to school. As similar, just to cover up the statement, as Anise Jung asked, she said that if she starts with the school, will they go to school? Will they join that? Everyone agreed. After few days, when again this group of boys, they were somewhere around that place. Now it was not Anise Jung, it was that group of boys who approached Anise Jung to ask whether the school has been started or not. This was a very embarrassing and terrific situation for Anise Jung because she never intended to start a school, and she said school is a big setup and it takes time to start. So this is how the chapter initiates. It's the first story we are talking about, which talks about Sahib-e-Alam, who is a rag picker and who lives in Simapuri, which is on the periphery of Delhi. Right, Sahib and his army of boys, that is the troop of his boys who do not go to school, they spend their time scrounging through the garbage because for them garbage was gold. they would find somewhere sometimes a rupee or a 10 rupee note in the garbage. You must have seen the rag pickers coming to your places. When they used to pick up the garbage, they used to scrounge them and they used to sort out into different heads. Plastic somewhere else, rough egg somewhere else, eatable somewhere else, rotten somewhere else, kitchen waste somewhere else. So similarly, whatever is at times is waste for us, it becomes useful for them. So as similar, these children were there who used to scrounge out the garbage. And why they used to scrounge the garbage? Because for them it was a wonder pack. The garbage was wrapped in wonder for them, for the children, because when they used to get a penny, when they used to get a coin or a 10 rupee note, they used to treat themselves. As if you people are getting pocket money from your parents and you are not answerable, rather you spend it according to your wish. So similarly, these children, those who are just hand to mouth, they are unable to meet both the ends. How could they get pocket money? But somehow or other, people have inner inhibitions, inner hidden desires which are unfulfilled. So just to fulfill them, they used to scrounge out that garbage, right? They are so you people are so beneficiary that you are being blessed with many of the facilities. Same children of your age, they are somewhere, you people are sitting inside the classrooms and listening to the lectures, but the children of your age, ironically, somewhere around your school buildings, they are surprised picking up the garbage, that what you people are doing sitting inside the room right from morning till afternoon. So just to make out the best of what you have got, make out the best of what they have got, they used to treat themselves from that garbage. Now let us talk about the place where they were staying, that is Simapuri. In Simapuri, it seemed as if it was a tradition to remain barefoot. Now when these group of boys, they were being asked by Anis Jung that why they are not wearing the shoes, so author asked them why they were not wearing the chappals. So according to them, one of the boys said that his mother had never brought them down from the shelf, that is why he didn't wear. Another one said that it was a mismatch to the dress, and third one said it was never a tradition in our family to wear it. But none of them reported back that we are unable to afford the shoes. This shows their first thing, it shows that is the perpetual state of their poverty, of the poverty in which they were bearing up. Secondly, it was their regard, it was their self-respect which they do not want to forward, that they are unable to afford the shoe. Now here author also remembers of another boy. He was a priest's son who had prayed at the temple for the pair of shoes. He used to stand in front of the temple stairs and he used to pray for the shoes to God. And now in the same temple at the backyard, there lived a new priest and his family. His son wore a school uniform with socks and shoes which he could afford. Though the author was reminded of the rag pickers who remained shoeless. Now this is an instance being given by the author where he remembers of he recalls of the priest's son who used to pray for the shoes, and these were the group of boys who did not have the shoes and they were of the same place. Simapuri, it was occupied by the squatters from Bangladesh. As Sahib Alam, he himself was a squatter from Bangladesh who had come right from Dhaka because the fields had been ruined there and they do not have any source of income, any source of livelihood, and the people were starving there. They had to build the structures of mud with roofs of tin and tarpaulin, which were having no facility of sewage or drainage, no running water, unhygienic, filthy conditions. They were basically refugees, right? Refugees from Bangladesh, Dhaka, who did not have any permits or any identities. They had ration cards with them. Ration card as an identity proof, we show it somewhere, but here they do not bother about the identity card, do not bother about the ration card as their identity card, but for them ration card was only the license, only the pass to get the food grains at the cheaper rates. They were least bothered whether they are entitled into voters list, their names are there or not, but it was only the ration card which could enable them to buy the food grains at lower prices for their families and for them. Survival in Simapuri means rag picking. They were destined to be the rag pickers. Now there is an irony in the name of Sahib-e-Alam. Sahib-e-Alam very proudly tells his name to the author unknowingly about its meaning. Sahib-e-Alam means the Lord of Universe, and he was starving even of the basic necessities, basic facilities of day-to-day life. So that is ironical in the name of Sahib-e-Alam. Now somehow or other, once Anis Jung saw Sahib-e-Alam wearing the shoes, tennis shoes, which were not a match to his dress and had a hole. These shoes had a hole in it because they were being discarded by a rich boy, a son of rich man. They were being discarded, and he was standing at the park's gate to look to the tennis. He was watching the tennis game. Why he wanted to wear these tennis shoes? Because he wanted to play tennis game. And he quoted that Gardner was so amicable with him when there is no one out nearby. He used to call him inside. He permits him to move inside and play. This is just a gesture of his happiness and joy being told by the author. So once again, when Anis Jung saw Sahib-e-Alam, he was nicely dressed up, but today it was somehow different that Sahib-e-Alam appeared to be. And what was that? He was nicely dressed up, but no plastic bag was there with him. Instead of plastic bag, he was carrying a steel canister. Anis Jung asked Sahib-e-Alam that where is his plastic bag today, and he very proudly told, without giving any smile, without having any flake of happiness on his face, he conveyed that he has joined a tea stall. Now he works for a tea stall owner near the hillside, and he pays him $800 for a month. These $800, apart from all the meals of the day, were cherry on the cake. This was a privilege, this was a perk which he was getting along with this salary, 800 rupees. But what was missing with him was that smile, that carefree attitude. And Sahib-e-Alam, when Anis Jung saw Sahib-e-Alam in such state, he was not happy to look to his better conditions. Rather, it seemed as if steel canister weighed heavier than the plastic bag. It was not the volume, it was not the mass, it was not the weight of the steel canister which was weighing heavier on Sahib-e-Alam's shoulder. Rather, it was the curtailment of his freedom, of his liberty, as if all the facilities are being provided to the person, but all his freedom has been taken away. As if right now we all are being locked down in our homes with every facilities, the internet, the best food your parents could serve, the TV, the computer, but what you want to be? You want to move out. That independence, that liberty, that is being desired the most. That was now missing because now he has to act, now he has to work as per the demand of his master, and he does not remain the master of his own desires. So somehow or other that child labor has crushed his childhood, has taken away his smile, and has taken away his innocence from the life. So he could not cherish anything. That is what the first part is. The next part we'll be doing in next part of this chapter. The another one, that is I want to drive a car, we'll be doing it in the next part. Thank you.